Good morning, everybody. Greg Knopfsker in for this next half hour, and I will be talking with James Beaudry from the Showboat and a couple of his actors that are going to be in the play tonight and through the next couple weeks. So let's say hello to James. Hi, James.
Hi.
And we also have with us here Tiffany Beckford and Lisa Wipperling. And I thought it was kind of funny that James sent me this email, and he said, strangely, neither is from Baldwin Wallace University.
Nope. No.
So
a lot of his casts have been.
yes. So we mentioned that or talked about that, I think, a couple of weeks ago. But yes, it's, I've been doing these, I don't know, 11, 12 years or something, like interviews and reviews. And you just notice year after year after year, there's always a couple, two or three.
Well, if we're putting a plug in for universities,
Okay.
The current show that we're doing, World Goes Round, I teach at Western Illinois University. In the Wedding Singer. One of my students was in the Wedding Singer from Western Illinois University. But this particular show, the director, the Bill Kincaid, the choreographer, Donald Laney, Will Kerr, the lighting designer, J.K. or James Kyle Davis, the stage manager, Grant Brown, and myself have all spent some time at Western Illinois, either as a student or as a faculty member.
Wow, neat. I lived
And that was just coincidence.
That's very coincidence.
It wasn't like, oh, we all know each other. Like, people were hired individually, and then it just ended up that way. Yeah. So the Western Illinois University show.
Yeah,
and Rider University.
And Rider University.
Yes, Rider University.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I lived in Macomb for a number of years,
really?
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, and I was in the Macomb Community Theater down there and was in, I don't know, several plays.
Wonderful.
And it was a nice area, nice place to go to school, nice place to live.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, and we have got Tiffany. Let's hear about your life, your theater experiences. And
So I am a current student. I'm going to be an upcoming senior at Rider University in New Jersey,
okay,
it's in Central Jersey, right next to Princeton. And I'm a double major in musical theater and technical theater. So I have performing elements that I have to do and work on, but then I also have the tech elements. I'm a lighting concentration, so I work in the lighting booth and do lighting design and things like that. So I have to gear up for like my senior capstone, my senior showcase, and all those things together before going out. I would say before going out into the real world, but this is the real world. So I guess before really going out into the real world and seeing
this is kind of the real world here. But
it's like my first taste.
Well, I'm glad. Have you enjoyed your summer here?
I have, yeah. It was daunting coming here, especially since you bring up so many Baldwin Wallace students. Like half of the cast of Wedding Singer and just the shows this summer have been Baldwin Wallace students. So, like, they all know each other in some capacity. And then what I learned, because I went through a different audition process because the Showboat went to their schools, which is also how you got like a big concentration. And I did it through the website and things, and so like there was no other people from Rider here, and I was like, I'm going to Iowa, like I've never been to Iowa before, and I don't know anyone that's coming out here, and I'm like, I gotta meet everyone. It was super welcoming getting here, and I came a few days late because I also came from a trip from Sweden for school.
Oh,
so then
you're excused for that, I guess.
Just a little excused. But then I got there, people were like, "Is that Tiffany?" And I was like, "People know my name." Oh my God! But it was really sweet, and everyone here has been so sweet.
Well, the theater group is always so welcoming to so many people, and it's easy to meet folks and enjoy their company for the most part. And we're glad you had a nice summer. And Lisa, how about you? You've been here before, but
yeah, I've been here before. I was here last summer in All Shook Up and Calendar Girls, and I did I'm in my fourth show of the summer, so I was not in Sister Act, but in the rest of them.
Okay.
And you're right, this is a really good group of people, and I think Jim does a really good job of casting not only very talented people, but very good humans. So we're a fun group of people to hang out with, which is nice.
Well, great. let's find out a little bit about how the wedding singer went.
The wedding, the wedding singer was
It went.
it was amazing. It was a huge hit. People loved it. You couldn't get a ticket. Part of that was because we had to cancel 2 shows because of COVID, which is really hard, especially on a show that's a big hit, because we probably lost $8,000 by canceling those shows, which is a huge financial hit
That's
to us.
for sure.
And that's scary. But you have to do what you have to do. Nobody wants a COVID outbreak, but the timing of it, if it had to happen, the timing of it was actually perfect, because it was we don't do shows Monday or Tuesday, and so people started showing symptoms Sunday after the matinee. So, all of the guidance is about when do your symptoms first present and when can you come back. So we were able to do the last weekend of performances, and we added a show back in. Because if it had been a day or 2 later that had happened, we would have lost the whole second week.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so happy, because it was the last show for a large part of our company. There's only 5 actors in the last show, and there were 19 in that show. And so that we all got to come back and do the last performance.
And have some closure.
Yeah. Because a show like that is so physically demanding. And it's fun. It's a ton of fun to do.
Yeah.
But it is hard. It is hard work. And to put in all that effort and then have the rug taken out from under you without closure would be really hard.
Yeah.
But being able to come back, and we did the show, we were short 2 cast members for a couple performances, but by closing, everybody was back. And audiences loved it either way, regardless. But it was a tough process, but really rewarding for everybody who was able to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was a very good show. I had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot
Yeah.
of chuckles.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs.
Yeah. And that's, this summer has been tough because we had to cancel some performances of Calendar Girls for the same situation. But what we've been able to do on stage, and not just with the casts, but with our design teams, people are really seeing, like, wow, the Showboat is doing really good work across the board in all departments, and that's the whole reason we're here, and so hopefully that's what people take away and remember, and going forward, knock on wood, we don't have quite so many difficulties as far as COVID. It's just it's still with us, and it's a weird time. And we have to test everybody regularly, because, we have a lot of people singing at each other in close proximity. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a very, very good performance. In fact, the whole summer so far, all of the shows have been just great. You betcha. And so many nice comments from people around that I've talked to and asked them if they've gone or if they're going. And everybody's been, I think, not surprised, but so welcoming all the talent that comes in here every summer.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't believe it. You think, wow, this person is really good. And so you kind of wonder and hope that as they proceed that good things will come their way.
we're really fortunate. It takes work, but we have a good reputation, and it's a company people want to work for, where people feel supported, and artists can come and kind of grow in their own selves in their work. And so it's nice to be at a company where when you make an offer to somebody, they are really interested, and no one feels like, oh, well, I guess I'll go do this because I can't do something else.
Right.
And so we're really lucky here in Clinton that this is a place people want to be.
That's good. Yeah, I remember last time Grant saying that he's got a part there that he never really thought was a part that he wanted to try out for or really was that interested in. And bam, he's got this part that tour de force,
And Grant should play
so
the
many
lead
things.
in The Wedding Singer everywhere The Wedding Singer is
my
being
goodness.
done
Yes,
forever.
Yeah.
That is written for him.
Because he's perfect for it.
Yeah.
So funny, Yeah.
Yep.
But he came back because of the company. He came back not just, oh, well, yes, for this role.
Well,
and-
it's just when
He
you
was in
work
every show too.
Yeah.
when you work with talented people, you also up your own game. And so it's really nice to work with other people that are equally talented or more talented than you so that you can continue to up your game.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, great. Well, let's tell us a little bit about the show coming up. The World Goes
The
Round.
world goes round.
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
Sure. So it's a review. So there's no plot. It's 2 hours with intermission. So pretty quick. Just a great evening of song and dance, and it's all songs by John Kander and Fred Ebb. And a lot of people don't know who they are if you hear their names, but they wrote the musicals Chicago. They wrote Cabaret, among many other musicals. I think they wrote 15 shows together.
Songs like New York, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, these are great songwriters from the 60s through the last 10 years even. Their last collaboration premiered on Broadway in 2010, I think. So they had like a solid 50-year run of musicals and songs from films and one-off songs for people like Liza Minnelli or Barbra Streisand or Frank Sinatra. So it's just full of great music, and reviews are tough to talk about because okay, great, so people come and they sing songs
What's
and
the
they
plot?
dance, so what's the point?
Yeah.
But
No murders, no
yeah.
divorces. Nothing.
Well,
So maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe?
Tiffany was talking about. Tiffany sings the opening song, which is
Okay.
the title song, "The World Goes Round," and it really sets up the theme for the evening, and it's just a really great feel good. I'll let her talk about that in a second, but
Okay,
it's
yeah.
a great feel good show, and it's beautiful to look at. The sets, the lights, the costumes, the humans, like
Humans.
it's just this cast of 5 people, and it's just exquisite to watch and feel and enjoy really, really great American music. But if you want to talk about the theme of it and the opening song.
Yeah, I'll talk a little about the theme. So the opening song is "The World Goes Round," and basically is detailing how you find yourselves in like high points of your life where you're really happy and things are going great. But you also find yourself in points where you're feeling really low and things aren't going as well. But regardless, the world's gonna keep turning. The world goes round, and once you're in those low points, you know that there's going to be high points again because like it's inevitable. It just has to happen. But then the same thing is true of the reverse, that when you're in those high points, you know that it won't last and that there will be low points. But you have to have the highs to recognize the lows. You have to have the lows to recognize the highs, and that's how you enjoy life all the more. And then it sets up for the rest of the show. We sing songs of happiness and of just like splendor and joy and energy, and then we sing songs of sadness, of love, of loss, because those are all parts of life, those are all themes of life, but it's all in the collective experience of living. You can experience those highs and being happy and being with your friends and singing. Like we have a song called Say Yes, where we're just saying yes to everything that life hands us. Yes, I'll walk, yes, I'll go, yes, I'll dare, yes, I'll do all of these things. But then I know one of the songs I sing is called My Coloring Book, and I'm detailing a lost love that I have. And so it goes from all the way up high, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to try everything, then I'm like, I lost the person that I love. But those are both parts of the same experience of living, and I feel like that's something that people, like anyone, can identify with, of feeling great and then not feeling so great. And so having that opening number and just saying, welcome to the world, welcome to life. We're just gonna go and take this journey together. You're gonna come on our highs with us. You're gonna come on our lows with us. It's gonna be a fun evening.
And you leave feeling good.
You
We
do.
had a preview audience last night of 30 people or so, and it was really cool to watch them because we work in musical theater, so
Yeah.
we're more familiar with a lot of these songs than I think the general public is. They were captivated the whole time, and you hear like a song that no one knows, like Colored Lights
Yeah.
from The Rink, which is a gorgeous
great.
song.
It's a beautiful
They're just
song.
enraptured with the story that's coming out of this song, and then a little bit later you hear the opening vamp to All That Jazz.
And you're
that's
like,
very
I
recognizable.
know that.
And you watch the audience sort of look at each other knowing and like, here comes this one, because they know it. And,
Yeah.
so it's not because sometimes, particularly with reviews of musical theater writers, you feel like, well, I don't know this music. Is
Yeah.
it too insidery for me? But it was really great to watch that preview audience experience it and just like key into these moments, which says a lot about the cast, because the cast is performing the heck out of it. And then for the songs that they are familiar with, to sort of sit up and feel like they're part of that world, because these songs are part of our consciousness, you know? So that was great to see, because you always wonder, like, I know this music, does anybody else?
Yeah.
And so that was really lovely.
I also think this review has a really great mix of featuring each actor performer that's in the show in
Yeah.
both acting,
Definitely.
singing, and dancing. There's some beautiful dance work in this, but also there is some really great ensemble numbers where we get to really tight harmony it up and just really have a great time. And I think the audience never gets tired of I mean, it's what, a 2 hour,
Yeah, the first act is like 2 hours and the second act is 45 minutes.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
great.
You said it's 2 hours.
Oh, the first act is 1 hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole show's maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. I
Not
think.
yeah,
so,
not
Yeah.
even.
So, but it doesn't feel like that. I mean, it feels,
No, it moves.
it feels full, but it doesn't
Yeah.
feel too long. Like, I think it leaves you wanting more by the end.
Yeah, and you know, like sometimes you're at a show and you're like, how much longer? How many more songs till intermission?
Yeah.
Like
where are we?
nobody had that reaction, because you can see that when an
They were
audience
like,
feels that.
Yeah.
Are we done already?
They're like, oh, it's
So-
intermission already, and then Act 2 is just
Yeah.
Just speed
Just quick,
through.
yeah.
Through.
yeah, it's great. I think people are really gonna love it, and the rest of the cast, Megan Grace Ludwig and Grant Alexander Brown and Ken Singleton. These are all people that our audiences love, and some of the fun, I think, of summer stock is coming back every few weeks and seeing that person do something new,
Yes.
this person do something new, and as
seeing
Lisa said,
seeing Mr. Wedding Singer do Mr. Cellophane.
yeah,
Oh my god.
gosh.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
but it's amazing, and you just sort of. I mean, I've seen Lisa do a lot of work, and I said to her yesterday that like the work you're doing in this is exquisite, and it's different than anything I had the chance to see you do.
Thank you.
Because the Isn't It Better song,
I love that song.
it's just she's just her at a table thinking about the state of a relationship, and it's transfixing. Like the work she's doing is just, it's amazing.
I love you, Jen.
So anyway, you've got to come see this show, because the cast is top notch.
All right, sounds good. Now, real quick, what do we got? We got 5 minutes or so here. The show's for next season.
Yeah.
You've announced that at the Follies a week ago.
Yes.
And what's you looking forward to the most on this new list here?
Oh, it's tough to say
That's
which
a good
one
question.
I'm interested the most, but we'll just run down it. We're gonna start
Okay.
with another review show called The Leading Ladies Cabaret, which is all songs sung by the leading ladies of Broadway musicals. So you're gonna get a bit of all of the best of Broadway, with 4 or 5 like powerhouse women performing those. Second is Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That's one that I love, because I love the musical theater, the way they took a very funny film and made it into a big splashy musical. Super fun. And then Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which is just beautiful. And I mean, Rodgers and Hammerstein's songs, and it's like, you know, it's based on the TV version that they wrote for Julie Andrews in the 50s, which was the most watched TV program of all time when it premiered. And then SpongeBob the Musical,
Can't forget SpongeBob.
which is like wild and hilarious and over the top theatricality. But if you're like, what is SpongeBob? I don't care about that. Don't worry, because you will love it. It is just, it's like
Hilarious.
the kind of fun that Wedding Singer is. And it just doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's just brilliant. And then we're going to wrap up with Murder for Two, which is a 2-person show. Murder Mystery Whodunit, where 2 characters play all the roles, but they also play piano and accompany themselves in song while they play all the roles. So it's just a great, super fun season. And subscriptions are available now through our website or through our box office. And we're very pleased that our ticket prices for next year are still 25% lower than the nearest other professional theaters around. And we're very
Okay.
proud to keep our ticket prices low, and accessible.
Sounds good. Yeah, Young Frankenstein, one of my favorite movies of all time, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And Cinderella too. It sounds like a beautiful.
Cinderella's great because you can bring the whole family to it, just like SpongeBob and Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein. Maybe some things not appropriate for kids. But like Rodgers and Hammerstein bring a level of like elegance, so it doesn't just feel like, oh, it's a fairy tale on stage. There's like if anybody wrote better songs than Kander and Ebb, it might be Rodgers and Hammerstein. Maybe, but they're different. There's like apples and oranges, but like the craft in that show is just elegant and beautiful, and so I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting season.
Yeah, it should be. As always, every season is so much fun with you folks, or with the cast, and I really enjoy the shows a lot. I think I said last year there's maybe only been 1-2 clunkers in the 12 years that I've been doing the shows, the reviews, and watching the shows, and it's speaks well of you folks here. And I know, Lisa, you've been in several shows the last few years, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
4 this year and 2 last year.
Yeah. So, like James said earlier, you like to see again the folks that you saw in other performances, and think, oh yeah, I remember her.
Well, and Tiffany's been in all 5 this summer.
I wasn't in.
Sorry, not Calendar Girls.
But I was
4.
in the starting.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did that a good 4, which is good.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been a lot.
It's a lot.
It's been a lot, but it's been so fun and just so rewarding, and just seeing like your castmates and stuff grow from like, because we start off with Sister Act, and we all like, we're getting to know each other, and we're like, okay, so this is what summer stock is. Okay, we're getting a feel of it. By the time we have like Wedding Singer, we're like getting to see each other do comedy, and we're getting to see each other sing things that we didn't get to hear them sing in like Sister Act or Stay Fair, because each show had a very different feel, and it's just very nice to support one another and see each other grow in these past 3 months. And I mean, now most people are gone because they went home because their contracts ended, but like I'm so grateful for that, and watching everyone grow has also helped me grow as a performer and as a person. And like I would love to come back. Like this has just been such a rewarding experience.
People ask me like, who's starring in Young Frankenstein next year? I'm like,
it's a little early to make that decision.
Give us some time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Let's finish this season
Let's finish
first.
this season first, and then we'll talk about
Who's
that.
Frau Brucker? Yes.
Yeah, I can't say anything.
Okay.
Can't say anything.
Yeah. Well, we've got just a couple of minutes to go here until my program director wanders back into the studio here, and we've got. I'm going to say, what's your favorite, Lisa? What's your favorite couple of songs that you'll be performing?
My all-time favorite song in World Goes Round is Cabaret, and this particular version of Cabaret is 5-part harmony.
Stunning.
Very tight harmony, just beautifully arranged. And it's if you've ever heard Manhattan Transfer or the New York Voices, any of those kind of a cappella groups, that's what it reminds me of. It's just beautifully written, and we have a blast singing it together, the 5 of us. So that's my favorite part of the show. Beyond that, I love being able to see each one of us featured in what is maybe our superpower of what we can do, and like I just love being able to be backstage and celebrate my castmates. theater version of it, and there's so many different things going on. It reminds me a lot of Wedding Singer in terms of like it comes at you from one angle and there's something else that happens and there's something else. There's always something to see. It's a very high energy, high impact show. And I did not grow up with SpongeBob. I was kind of just beyond that era. But so many people of the era of SpongeBob love going to see this, and those that have never seen SpongeBob the cartoon still really identify with characters on stage. I think it's a really fun show.
Because they put this general plot. I mean, it's same with Wedding Singer. Wedding Singer is like you've got the '80s references, and there's all these different ways you can access the Wedding Singer. But ultimately,
Hook's Pub and
it's
Grill
like
features
Romeo and
breakfast
Juliet
on
with
Sunday
happy
morning.
ending.
All of
They
your
took a very
favorites, plus
simple
mega
plot
Bloody Marys and refreshing
and
mimosas.
made this amazing musical around it. Same with SpongeBob. It's a very simple plot that then the circumstances of it make it so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And where's Paul? He was just in here.
Just here.
Hey, Paul, come on back. There he is. Yeah, we'll kind of wrap her up here. Then again, today we've been with Tiffany Beckford and Lisa Wipperling, who are both in the show tonight. The World Goes Round, and James Beaudry, who is our technical director, or what's your exact
Producing artistic director.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
real good. So, folks, it's been a nice 40-minute conversation
It has.
with you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
we've
so
covered a lot
much.
of different stuff. So, yeah, I enjoyed meeting you too and seeing James.